Okay, this will be a quick one. It says find the zeros of this. We already know how to, hopefully know how to do this. I encourage you to pause it and try it on your own. This one, you'll get a decimal because 6 is not a perfect square. But we'll see that in a minute. So the first step was to make y 0. So make the f of x, which is the same thing as y, make that 0, equals negative x squared plus 6. Here's what I'm going to do. It's a negative 1x squared. I'll put that in just so I recognize that. And then I try to get x squared by itself. So I have to take this, move it over by doing the opposite. So I have to subtract 6 from both sides. So that cancels out. Negative 6 equals, I'll do this in red still. Negative 6 equals negative 1x squared. That went away. So then I divide by negative 1. Then I just get x squared equals negative 6. Nope, positive 6. So then I have positive 6 there. And to get the x by itself, I square root both sides. Remember, the square and the square root cancel out. So I get x equals, remember, plus or minus square root of 6. That's not a perfect square, so I leave it. Square root of 6. I could write it like that. And then I would have the square root of 6, comma 0. And the negative square root of 6, comma 0. So that could be my answers. Or, if you want to use a decimal, I'm just going to put it into my calculator. The square root of 6. What is the square root of 6? So what I'm doing in my calculator is I'm pushing 6 and then the square root button, and that gives me 2.449, and then of course my y value is 0, or negative 2.449, comma 0. This was done in the calculator. These are the same. Those are both the same. It's just this one's rounded to 3 decimal places. So there you go. That's just another example for when it doesn't work out perfectly, but you still get the answer, doing all the same steps. I have one more thing that I want to show. One more example. What? Okay, this kind of looks maybe difficult, but it's not. These are 3 separate problems. So don't get confused like that. Sketch a parabola with the given characteristics. So for A, it just says the vertex is at negative 2, 4. Well, the vertex, I know what that looks like. That's just the either the highest point or the lowest point. But this one doesn't tell me to graph it opening up or down. So it doesn't matter. So the answer for this one, you can go ahead and graph this, could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be, what, negative 2, 1, 2, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The vertex has to be there. Could be this. Or, plot the vertex again. Could open upwards, right? So both of those would be an acceptable answer. It doesn't tell you which one, so you can have either one of them. So that's for A. For part B, it says the highest point is 0, 2. So I'll just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, because that's the highest number. 0, 0, 2. This point right here has to be the highest point for the parabola. It has to be the highest point. So that just means it has to open downwards. If it opened upwards, then this point is higher, this point is higher, this point is higher, and there's an infinite number of higher points. But if it opens downwards, then this is the highest point. So that's the answer for B. For C, I feel like you might be able to do this if you remember what decreasing means. Remember, decreasing always from left to right. Left to right. Decreasing means you're moving downwards. So like this part is decreasing. This part is increasing. This part is increasing. this part is decreasing. Decreasing, increasing. So here it's saying when x is less than 0, so all over here, the function is decreasing. So we have to be going downwards when we move from left to right. So, okay. It also says the zeros are -2, 2. So I have to hit my x-axis at -2, and also I have to hit my x-axis at +2. Okay. I'll just put those in. So I have to go through those points, and I have to be, when x is less than 0, so on this side, I have to be decreasing. So maybe it looks like this. No, it definitely looks like this. Does that work? This is decreasing. So when x is less than 0 on the left side, we're decreasing. And we have those as zeros. So that's it. Okay, I'm done with this one.